Hey YouTube, what's going on? I have here what will be a quick video. Let's see, a couple donor cars. This R34 has gone through a few different sets of wheels and tires. And this is the first Auto World car that I've ever used as a donor. The only reason that I've chosen this car, well, there's a couple, but the main reason is that I have duplicates of the casting, and if I didn't, I would not have done this. But you can see here, these are the stock Steelies off of a notchback Fox body, and then these are the wheels and tires to the R34, which may actually end up back on that car. I put some stock Chevy wheels back on this, but something isn't right about the rear axle. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, as I was saying about these stock Fox body Steelies, that's the first wheel swap that I did here. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this. I posted it last night. I think that the car looks so much better, and I really look forward to getting the civilian deco that is soon to come out. I think it just looks so sharp. And this thing is all Greenlight, so those are Greenlight wheels and tires and axles and all that kind of stuff. And I only mention that because the next one is not. Here are the wheels that came off of the car. Pretty sure you can tell what car this is. So this is the Greenlight Black Bandit Datsun 510. And these are the wheels off of the Auto World Dodge Dart Swinger. I believe that the type of wheel that this is a torque thrust mag wheel, but might want to fact check me on that because I've just heard that term. But anyways, so I think from certain angles it looks great. The big problem with these is that the tires are too big and it causes the car to sit a little bit too high. But other than that, I think it looks a lot better than it did with these wheels. The BF Goodrich radials are not ideal. You'd probably want to have like a Yokohama tire or something to that effect. Maybe a Falcon tire. My first choice of wheel for this car, and I actually butchered a car. The car is ruined and the wheels are not usable, but these wheels were my first choice. And don't know if you can tell or not, but these came off of a Ford Falcon XB. And there's a couple of reasons why these wheels don't work. I guess technically they would, but it would take two donor cars because the rear wheels and tires will not work. It's one of the very few Greenlight cars where the tires are staggered. So the wheels are the same size, but the rear tires are quite a bit larger on the Ford Falcon. So you would need to get two cars to utilize the front wheels and tires. They look great. In fact, on this 510 here, the front passenger tire is kind of loose, so I might be able to, there we go, at least just give you like a little brief idea of how the car would look with these wheels, because it really does look good, I think. My first choice would be those on the front. To get a set of those all the way around and still have it a rolling chassis, I think that would be really cool. I think that would look awesome. But it just wasn't in the cards tonight because I only had the one, and there's another issue with them, which they will work, but you'd have to use the front wheels and tires. But the other thing is that taking the wheels off of the axle is a very meticulous little task. Sorry, I gotta set you down for just a second here. And the reason for that is because of the design of the wheel. I'll give you one more little close up of the wheel here. So the wheel is, what is it, a 7-spoke? 8-spoke. It's an 8-spoke wheel. So when you go to pull it off the axle, there's not a lot of support around the circumference of the wheel. And so what ended up happening on both is that it just ripped the hub out of the middle, just tore the wheel apart. So you got to very carefully get these wheels off of the axle. And then once you do that, then you should be able to use them without issue. So after having that happen on 2 axles, it kind of worried me a little bit on the Dodge Dart. The first thing I did, because I really wanted to put some different wheels on that car, so I went through, I have 6 jammers of Greenlight cars. I didn't look at any that are out in the display case just because I really probably didn't want to tear any of those up, but I went through the jammers because I care a little bit less about those cars. And I looked at the Volkswagen Beetles and the Volkswagen Vans. I was looking at all the castings that tend to have smaller wheels and tires, because this casting, very much like the M2s, it takes much smaller wheels and tires. These are the stock wheels and tires that came on it, and they are very, very small. Easily the smallest that Greenlight makes. So when I couldn't find anything, it dawned on me that that I had that duplicate Dodge Dart that had these wheels and tires that I like quite a bit. But then after ripping 2 rims apart off of the Ford Falcon, I was a little bit concerned about pulling these off of the Dodge Dart. The other thing too is the rear axle has the tires tucked up underneath the fender, so you have to drill the base to get the rear tires off. Otherwise, when you torque the wheel off of the axle, it's going to catch on this, and with that torque, it's probably going to tear the wheel, tear the hub assembly, or I just didn't want to risk it, so I just drilled it real quick. And I'm pretty happy with the result. I don't have the tools to grind this down to give it a proper stance, but from a display standpoint, I think it'll still display pretty nicely. I know a lot of the diehard JDM people are probably going to laugh at the stance, and that's okay. It's just die cast. I still think it looks better than it did before. So, anyway, so that's the whole purpose of the video. I just wanted to show you my wheel swap here on this Datsun Bluebird, and also the wheel swap on this notchback Fox body. Really gives this car an entirely new look. This thing with the civilian deco and a nice aftermarket sports wheel, or even the stock Ford GT, the Mustang GT wheel, from that 87 to 93 era. You know, I just think it's good. Would just look awesome. So looking forward to that. I'm glad it's coming, and I'm definitely looking forward to more of these. I just hope that Greenlight doesn't get stuck in the same trap that M2 is currently stuck in with their Auto Japan cars, which is all of their it's their worst wheels that they make. They're just awful, and so far we're kind of seeing that with Greenlight, not just with this car, but also with the ones that they've announced. Like this is coming out in Tokyo Torque 2 with the red Brock livery, and also in Tokyo Torque 3 with the blue Brock livery. And both of those releases have these wheels on them. Now, granted, they're painted and they're a lot more detailed, so they will look better. But there is a Tokyo Torque wheel. Where did I put the... Here we go. There is a Tokyo Torque wheel that slightly resembles this, in that it is a 7 or 8 spoke wheel, but it's much smaller. So we'll see how it looks. Anyways, I was really hoping that these would be in the new Greenlight muscle wheel accessory, because Greenlight, they're now selling wheels as accessories. You can get a 4-pack of wheels, so you get 4 sets of wheels, which is 16 wheels and tires and 8 axles, and they're selling on eBay for $12 shipped. They have a Greenlight muscle, and they have a Tokyo Torque, and they have an all-terrain. But I'm just not a fan of any of the wheels in those Series 1. So we'll see what Series 2 brings, and maybe I'll get something from there, because I'd definitely rather go that route than continue to tear cars apart, take wheels off of cars. These wheels came off of the Skyline, but they were originally on the Gas Monkey Ford Mustang convertible from Hollywood, whatever the last Hollywood release is. I hate that casting, so I had no problems taking the wheels and tires off of that. Something kind of interesting to note is the similarities between the Auto World wheel, which is on the right, and the Greenlight wheel, which is on the left. Both wheels are very nicely done. I think I do give a slight advantage to Auto World on the wheel. I give a massive advantage to Auto World on the tire. Amazing how much nicer the Auto World tire is, even if it didn't have the white lettering. So I know a lot of you do the Hot Wheels wheel swaps. Well, there you go. There's my Greenlight wheel swap. Very easy to take the Greenlight wheels off, as long as you don't tear them apart. Most of their wheels, I've torn a whole bunch of M2 wheels apart. This is the first time that I've ever tore up Greenlight wheels, and I've taken quite a few of them off. So all you have to do is, if you want to take the wheels off of a casting, you don't have to drill the base. Just pull the tire off, take a pair of needle nose pliers, and grip them down with enough grip that you can pull them off, but not too much grip that you're going to crush the wheel. And you don't need anything on the back, because the chassis will act as the stop. And then you just pull, and you can kind of finesse it off of the axle, and then they just come right off, and that way you're not drilling the base to harvest the wheels. So anyways, feel free to leave your thoughts below, any questions you might have, any suggestions you might have, and I will holler at the next video.